Coming up on Mountain News this morning, we take a look at how inflation is impacting the Christmas spirit this year. And officials are warning Kentuckians to stay safe around fires after so many recent ones in the area.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning, I'm Olivia Calfee. The time is 6 a.m. on November 28th. Now let's check in with Chief Forecaster Brandon Robinson for a look at your forecast this morning. And Brandon, those chilly temperatures are out there, but I have to say it's starting to feel like the Christmas season a little bit.
It's looking like the Christmas season a little bit too. We've had some sporadic reports of some flurries out there. I just walked to the back door. I told you that I saw them yesterday. Yeah. You did. You actually sent me a video, and I couldn't see them, but I believe you. Okay?
They were there.
But again, I'm basically kind of right here in Letcher County, so I walked to the back door and I was like, can I see anything? No, I didn't see anything. But again, the wind is blowing. I can tell you that. Reports of flurries over in Prestonsburg this morning. I haven't heard from Pike County. If you're seeing some, send me a message. Let me know about that on Facebook. And of course, we're looking at the London Corbin Airport. Don't see a whole lot of action out there this morning, but it is on the chilly side. Temperatures are starting to come back down. You can look at Louisville and Lexington. Even Morehead's down to 28, so you can tell where the front is this morning. There was some warm air pushed in ahead of that front, and now it's coming right back. You know, feels like temperatures with the wind chill. Yeah, it's brutal out there this morning. I was watching the inflatables blow here at the house, so it's windy for sure. So basically, as we get deeper to the day, I think the cold air really sweeps in, even with the sunshine coming out, and temperatures top out in the low to mid 30s a little bit later. Olivia?
All right, thank you, Brandon. And as we were just talking about, it's getting chilly outside, and colder weather means more heat and more energy being used. Sunday, thousands in Powell County were left without power. It was restored a few hours later, but with those cooler temperatures, how can you prepare? Julia Sandor talked with a power company officials about some tips for the home.
It's a busy time of the year for utility companies in the Commonwealth. With colder temperatures coming our way, it's important to stay prepared in case of a power outage.
If we have a severe storm with heavy ice, and high winds and snow that could lead to massive power outages, first thing you got to know is our crews are going to work extremely hard to as safely and as quickly as possible restore power.
Daniel Lowry with Kentucky Utilities says their crews and trucks can deal with all types of weather. Just like KU, Nick Comer with East Kentucky Power says after dealing with deep freezes and harsh winters throughout the years, they're able to work quickly and efficiently.
Last December, we saw Winter Storm Elliott hit Kentucky. It hit all of the eastern United States. Extreme cold, high winds over a pretty large geographic area. And that meant that a lot of power plants over the eastern U.S. were working really hard to keep the power flowing. And we want to make sure that our power plants are ready for that so that we have a little bit of excess power just in case something like that happens.
He says before a storm hits, be sure to have flashlights, food, and water. And if your power does go out and you want to use a generator, make sure it's a safe distance from your house.
That our system is built to withstand extreme conditions and safely and reliably meet the energy demands that customers have.
Julia Sandor, WKYT.
Deputies say a Laurel County man charged with assault admitted to the allegation, saying he just woke up on the wrong side of the bed. 23-year-old Logan Peters of East Bernstadt was arrested at a home off Little Arthur Ridge Road. Deputies say he tore the house up, threatened to kill his mother and other family members, threw a flower pot at his grandmother's car, and broke a window out of her home. He's charged with assault, criminal mischief, menacing, and terroristic threatening. Also in Laurel County, deputies are trying to find a man that did not show up in court to be sentenced. Officials say 39-year-old David Landry was not at his camper and he cut off his ankle bracelet. He was charged with burglary, receiving stolen property, and criminal mischief. If you have any information, you should call the Laurel County Sheriff's Office at 606-864-6600. Fire officials are sharing tips on how you can avoid a fire this holiday season. WYMT's RJ Johnson shares some small things you can do and how it can make a difference.
The holiday season is typically a busy season for first responders as they see more reports of fires in homes.
So November and December are the busiest months for kitchen fires in a home, and that basically has to do with the holidays and a lot of people cooking at home, cooking a lot more than they're used to.
Corbin Fire Department Public Information Officer Nathan Kirby says a lot of people have joined in on the trend of deep frying turkeys. He says it's important to safely fry them by making sure it is fully defrosted and there is not too much oil in the pot.
Often people won't read the directions of the equipment that they've purchased to deep fry the turkey. The oil then overflows and then causes a fire. There should be a fill line that's marked of where to fill it with oil, and then when you put the turkey in, the oil comes up to the correct level. Outside
of the kitchen, you should also be aware of what kinds of Christmas trees you have in your home.
So between a fake Christmas tree and a real Christmas tree, the synthetic and the fake tree is a safer option always. With a real tree, you have to worry about it drying out, so it's really important to keep that watered properly.
Kirby says you should also be mindful of the lights on your tree.
As far as the lighting goes, old-fashioned incandescent bulbs tend to generate a lot of heat. If you have a modern LED light bulb, it doesn't produce as much heat and is not as much of a risk. With Christmas lights, often they are designed to be butted into each other to run in a series. We don't recommend that.
Adding to keep your smoke detectors with updated batteries just in case.
Be sure that you have your smoke alarms, batteries updated. We recommend that people change it when daylight savings time starts or when it ends. Spring forward and fall back is a great time to just update those batteries. Even if they're not needing to be replaced, go ahead and replace them anyway.
Saying it is better to be safe than sorry. In Corbin, RJ Johnson, WYMT Mountain News.
Kirby says it is also important to keep your carbon monoxide detectors on and lower to the ground as it is heavier than oxygen. For more information on how to stay safe this holiday season, you can find this story on our website. County clerks will waive late fees during a system reset early next year. The state is updating its vehicle information database. It will be offline for at least a week starting January 1st. When the update is finished, county clerks say there may be some hiccups.
Everybody who has a January birthday, myself included, we're all going to be impacted by this, and then we may even see some additional impacts as we try to work through what we anticipate is going to be a pretty heavy backlog.
Online vehicle registration services will pause on December 28th. County clerk offices will halt in-person registration services on January 1st. Inflation could be making it harder to buy a real Christmas tree this year. One local farm is trying to keep its prices the same while serving the community. Kovalik's Christmas Tree Farm in Winchester says buying a real Christmas tree is an investment into Kentucky agriculture. The farm doubles as a classroom for future farmers of America's students.
Even in my few days here, I felt like I've built a second family because if I need help with anything, I can ask and they would be willing to help me.
Kovalik's Christmas Tree Farm is open from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Saturdays and Sundays.
Almost 6:09. I've been trying to watch this camera because it's a KYTC camera. It's not like real time, but I've been trying to see if there's any flakes flying up there on Whitesburg Pine Mountain this morning. There may be. I was trying to look for them in those trucks' headlights, but again, it's cold enough up there, 27 on the mountain this morning. So again, just be extra careful in those higher elevations. Again, temperatures pretty chilly now and starting to fall again in most locations, down to 28 in Moorhead, still 28 in Jonesville and in Wise, 27 in Jacksboro. So we're starting to head back in the right direction. Well, not the right direction, but you know what I mean, behind the cold front direction, the coldness we were expecting. Sunshine by lunchtime, I think for the most part there as the front moves through pretty quickly, and we'll see a chilly sunset tonight at 5:16. Olivia?
Thank you, Brandon, and thanks for joining Mountain News this morning. More news is on the way. Coming up, the truce between Israel and Hamas has been extended for 2 more days, giving some hope for more aid to enter Gaza.